Hey everybody, it's Carol, and I am here with Heather Lloyd-Martin to talk about the awesome launch of her community, Writers Plus Robots, for writers to learn how to use AI the right way. And just start at the beginning. Obviously, you're a longtime copywriters coach and teacher on SEO, and you have a lot of expertise, like many people who start musing about forming communities. So tell me about your thinking and how you came around to thinking about community.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that because it's a fascinating mental turnaround for me. So, for years, I have sold one off courses and bigger coaching packages or consulting packages. So,
Okay.
we're talking thousands of dollars, bigger ticket items. And those were great when they sold, right? Because you'd go in, you'd make a couple sales and be like, woohoo, this is an awesome month. But then when economies get funky or things are going weird, then that income can be super variable. That's the stuff they don't tell you about building courses or having these big ticket launches that sometimes they hit and they do really well, but it can be fairly sporadic. So that's what made me think about building out a community because I had a long-standing course, my SEO copywriting certification course that I had sold for over 10 years, loved it, but because everything with Google kept changing so often, updating it with my legacy backend system to keep everything together became a hassle. And it got to be where I wasn't able to serve as much as I would like to because I was so busy doing all this back end, trying to fix stuff, trying to update, trying to patch together. So I started thinking when Carol, you started the community aspect and launched this is what if I took what I have that I know is working and I turned that into more of a community? So much lower price point to get in, but it's something that over every month people stay on. So I have this really cool core group of people who are totally invested in what I offer. It's not a one time they come take the course and then they bounce out again. And it's something that grows. So every month there's a few more people and an aggregate that can turn into a really cool monthly income. So when I joined, I was thinking about something completely different and then
You mean
suddenly started getting
when you joined Community Growth Academy?
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
You were thinking
Uh,
about something different when you joined.
I was thinking about doing it more for women who are Gen X in midlife wanting to network, still will, but because of the communication I had, the interactions with the community with CGA, I started realizing, I have this thing that I can start now that will be able to solve the problem I felt I had with having the one-off launch. I'm able to serve more people. I'm able to build out a community with a different platform. Why don't I just try launching something that teaches writers how to use AI ethically in a way that doesn't make them feel like they've sold their soul or lost their voice? And I did. And it was scary, but I did it. And it's launched and it's actually selling, which is the coolest thing in the world.
It's a happy moment. So yeah, talk about how talking with the Community Growth Academy members kind of made you change direction on that. And I think
Yes.
I feel, as I recall, the conversation was around how there are moments in the culture where something's really hot and everybody needs to know about it. And that how to use AI is kind of one of those things right now.
Exactly. And that's what got me thinking about it. So I had come from an attitude in a way of, I've already been teaching this. Do I want to go into it and do it again? Because I hadn't quite gotten it straight in my head of how I would integrate AI. But then when I started talking with you, Carol, and other members of the community, I realized that I had the skill set that people didn't hadn't figured out yet, just because I had played with it so much by myself. So and that I think is a really important point for any consultant or subject matter expert who works by themselves alone and in their own heads a lot are the things that we find the easiest for us to do and the most no-brainer is the stuff that is of the most value to other people because we can provide them this knowledge in our heads that they wouldn't have access to any other way. So the more I started talking to people in the community, and Carol, your worksheets of doing the competitive analysis to go through and figure out, is this really an opportunity? That was so valuable. And for having a marketing background like I have, it would be really easy for me to blow off the worksheets and figure, what do I need a worksheet for? I intuitively know this. But I found they actually added a lot of value because what I thought I knew, I didn't. And I realized through the worksheets, not only was it a cool moment in time for me to start this, but nobody else anywhere was starting this for the price point that I was suggesting. And that was super cool that it was one of those times to find an untapped opportunity. And that really kept me going and got me excited for launch.
Yeah, I feel like so many people want to skip doing competitive research. It's like we're
Yeah.
afraid to know that, oh, it's like the already 50 million people do this. But usually, yeah, like you did, you spot a situation. You're like, well, everyone else is charging $300 a month for this, and I could charge something else and get a different audience. And, you know, I assume you also did a pre-launch survey and saw how interested your existing audience was in this
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah. So, and I use the surveys as a way to drum up early interest in the group, right? So they became both a way to gather data if I was on the right track, as a way to sort of soft market. So I was asking people about, are you interested in this? And I did this both locally within where I live in Portland, Oregon area, as well as like and my newsletter. And I found out that people were interested in it. And then I drilled down to, what do you want to see? Live trainings? Do you want to know X over Y? And so I was able to really distill down what people are worried about and thinking about with AI in terms of writing now, which was so valuable because in my head, I like have these big plans of big things that I could launch. And that's another thing I learned. And I talked about coming to one of the CGA meetings is I was making things more complicated. People just wanted to know easy stuff about, to my head, easy, because I've been working with easy stuff about writing with AI, not huge multi-day courses like I was going to
Right.
build. And that was exciting because I'm able to give them what they really want and not just what's in my head and what I think they might value or get value from.
Yeah. So you were able to overcome the challenge that I've actually seen in some people in my lead audience where they've gone off and built their community in a total vacuum. They're like, I know this, I built a course about this. They have no idea if that's what people want from them or not. And yeah, we talked about how doing a giant, long course, a lot of people don't dig that these days. We're all about small digestible bites of things we can learn, and that allows you to launch faster than thinking, well,
Yes.
I must build a epic, spectacular, long, complicated course. And so you opened in just the past couple of weeks, and tell me about what's been going on. You
Ah,
did
so go ahead.
you did a soft launch, I think, at one price, and then you went up already.
Yes. So I did a soft launch to people who had already purchased my certification training because they had been with me for years. This was a continuation of their knowledge. I wanted to take care of them. And that went well. My big fear, as Carol knows, is I was going to launch and nobody would care and I would hear crickets and that I would just be quietly closing it down after a while. But that's not what happened. So what I found is all of that pre-marketing of I'm launching this, I'm excited about it, I hope you are too, got other people excited about it, even if I didn't hear about it immediately. So when I did that launch to my students, a bunch of people signed up. And that gave me the impetus thinking, okay, this is real. This isn't just in my head. So the next phase after that is that for the general public, I was offering a founder's rate. And I realized that competing types of communities go for about 147 or more a month. And so the price that I was charging at 38 was a really good value for people to help join that community. So in the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks that I've launched, and that first week was not much marketing at all, except for for my initial newsletter certification group. Then I already have, I believe, 27 members as of this morning That isn't even close to the marketing that I have completed yet for this. I still have somebody who's going to help me out by doing a newsletter blast, other people that might sign up for affiliates. So I was hoping to get 20. Well, actually, I was hoping to get 10. The fact that I got this many so quickly was like, oh my goodness. And now every morning I'm waking up to one person signing up. And that is just the best feeling in the world. And no, it's not like $100,000 coming through, but in a way that makes no difference because I know that's just going to build over time.
And if a member stays for a year, it's like $400. You start looking at lifetime value of that member. And often members stay for years and they end up paying you those thousands that you might have gotten all in one blob at the course, but it's much more even, you know.
Exactly. And that they're paying it because they're participating and feeling the value. And that I know that I'm
Right.
giving them that value. So they're not just signing up and I never hear from them again. It's building a long term relationship with community members. And that's what I think is so very cool.
What kind of conversations are going on just with these first members?
Wow. Okay. So the conversations have helped me realize where people are in terms of understanding this. Because in my head, because I've been doing this for a while, I thought, oh, certainly people know more than this. And maybe I should launch because I don't know as much as some people. Oh, no, there's people just starting this and they're looking at how can I make ChatGPT sound like me? How can I trust a source? We're looking at what to do in terms of like even LinkedIn. There's a way you can create LinkedIn posts that sound like you, and then looking at LinkedIn newsletters. So what I'm finding is that, I mean, yes, the topics are like SEO, AI, writing. So it's around that core common theme, but it's encompassing all of marketing. So not just the geeky AI SEO stuff, but like how to start a LinkedIn newsletter and drive leads that way. And can you talk about that? And that's exciting because I think anybody coming into writing today, and if they're doing marketing for themselves or a company, they need to know how to use AI everywhere, not just one specific use case that will help them do some stuff, but not really save them time long term.
Right. And the other thing about AI, obviously fast changing, this is one of the elements that makes for great community because there's this constant need for, oh, a new thing. Now I need to know more, or now a new tool for this got introduced. Is it good? Is it bad? Can you show me? Um, it's one of these where being able to just continue to drop something every month that adds to their knowledge, it's like, why would you leave? And go hunting around the internet to solve all of these, updates that are going to happen. Yeah. And I think you also pre-marketed, as I recall, like what will the name of the community be, the logo look, and it's so cute. I like want to show people.
Thank you.
Um, I'm gonna have to share my screen because I think it came out so good. And yeah, pre-marketing is my favorite thing, and people don't do enough of it. And it makes launching really easy.
It
So
really does. Let's see. Oh, there it is. We
there it
call
is.
him
There's a nice
Al.
bigger one here. And yeah, so refining stuff like what should be the name of this community, what is the mission of this community, and what is the look of this community, all also like the pre-launch survey are fun little ways to suck in your audience and get them involved. And it sounds like it's already paying off. I can't wait to see what happens once your marketing like really ratchets up and gets it going. Oh,
Oh,
and yeah, I can
I'm
see there's
excited.
another member from the last time I looked.
I know,
That
right?
is so
And that's
awesome.
what's so cool about it is that you just see these little people that are joining here and there. And before you know it, you've got a community that you start that are super engaged in what you have to offer. And that's so cool for, I mean, I know so many subject matter experts that are posting on LinkedIn, they're doing all the right things, but they still feel like they're kind of speaking into a void and not really reaching their people to help. And this is a way to take those skills and then add them to one place to where you're always helping that community. And like you said, Carol, adding a little bit more every month to provide value. And like in the AI case and SEO, to reduce the overwhelm that people feel because there's so much out there right now.
Yeah, no kidding. And tell me about where your break even point is. Because the thing is, I used to have to spend so many thousands to run Freelance Writers Den because it was all hand built. And now it's like $100 to be on school, which we both are, and maybe $100 to hook, whatever your email marketing program is to it. Do you have other costs? How are you looking at your costs on this and where break even is?
Yeah, that's a good question because I always like to look at where's the money going. And like you, I had the custom built training site. It cost literally thousands of dollars a year to keep that going, not just improve it, but going. I broke even in three sales. And
Oh
that
my
shocked me. And
God. Oh my
so,
God.
and now it's like, okay, so what else can I throw in there to say that I broke it even on? I'm like, okay, email marketing. I had that before, but now I've broken even on that too. So it is
Right.
continuously to just go eat through all of my expenses and be soon to making like lots of profit soon, which is very exciting. So
Yeah,
it did not take me long.
obviously the magic of community is it scales.
Yes.
So, yeah, and you don't do a lot more work. You're still introducing whatever, you're answering a few questions or getting some volunteer moderator who you don't even pay, who gets a free membership instead, to answer a few questions and keep things rolling and as far as conversations. I just feel like the nut on paid community is so affordable now. And then, yeah, what if this had 1,000 members? What would that be profit wise? Like the ROI is insane.
Oh yeah, I've
So,
run numbers. I've of course I've got ChatGPT to create like, okay, if you get sales at 5% more per month, here's what happens. And it becomes really exciting because to your point, it doesn't take that much more work to help more people because you have then the ability to have help people help you. You're still providing the same kind of course value that you did before. So it's just learning how to look at things a little bit differently. And that was my big aha moment of I don't have to continuously launch a new product and pray that someone buys this one. I can just have one place where all of my materials go and I build a community from there. And that,
yes.
Carol, thank you for launching this because it helped me change my thinking and do something very, very different in the good way.
I'm so excited for you. This is our first official CGA launch. I had one other, but he didn't really participate in the community. So I'm not giving him credit. Yeah, I'm so happy for you. And I know you've worked so hard for so long and you deserve this. You deserve to have
Thank
a
you.
platform. And, the other thing we didn't say is the bigger the community gets, the more they support each other and you do less. You have, experienced members who say, oh, I think that's over here, or that they start solving problems for each other and just supporting each other. To me, it's such a big difference to run one-on-one coaching or a course that runs on autopilot versus where you're having your students are able to have those peer conversations and support each other. You just get a lot better results. That's what I can't wait for is the next phase is where you see how much more effective it is for people, how many more people take action than when it's just you and them, or they're just doing a course and they don't have a chance to talk to you. And because that's what sucked me into paid community was seeing how much more effective it was to have the peer interaction
Yes.
that more people persisted and actually executed. They didn't just sort of take the class and go, well, that's nice, but I'm still scared to do anything. They had that accountability buddy. They have these other people lifting them up. So I can't wait to
Exactly.
see this. I'm in this because I'm one of those people who don't know anything about AI. I haven't been using it because I ghostwrite books. It isn't really a big part of ghostwriting books of the type of client that I'm doing. If you want, junk, you say for books. So, I'm excited to learn. I like am that newbie, and so I get to follow along with this story. And I know everyone at Community Growth Academy is like super excited. All the other members, I know it's been really inspiring for them.
Oh,
So
cool.
on to more success, and like we'll do another update in the future
I
and
love
find out what
that.
happened more as you roll it
Yeah,
out.
6 months from now, this could be a completely different story where I'm talking about, wow, I've needed to build out all of this because the community grew so fast. And I can see the seeds of that now, and it's very exciting.
All right.
Yay.
Well, I love it, and we'll talk more later. Thanks
All
for coming
right.
on.
Thank you.